Welcome! I am currently going through the story of ReZero and comparing the anime, light novel, and web novel. And we're currently on arc 4, and this is going to be a very long one. I forgot how long this arc is. Here are the arcs and how they line up with the light novel and anime. Arc 4 is both parts of season 2 for the anime. Going by the numbers of the light novel, it doesn't look like this arc is going to be that long compared to the last arc, but this arc is a lot longer. This arc in the anime is 25 episodes long. The three arcs before this were 25 episodes all together. So we're going to be here a while. Links in the description for the previous arcs if you need those. Here's a quick summary of everything that has happened so far in the successful loop, stolen from one of my previous videos. Subaru goes to the store, ends up in another world, talks to a merchant, runs off down an alley, gets cornered by thieves, yells for help, gets help, runs to Felt's house, goes to the loot house with Felt. Emilia shows up, Elsa shows up, shit happens, Reinhardt shows up, shit ends, Subaru gets cut, faints, wakes up in a mansion, gets a job, works himself sick, takes a nap, goes shopping, sucks at dog training, sucks out the venom, takes a hike to save some kids, becomes a chew toy, wakes up, takes a hike to save a demon, rediscovers the power of telling the truth, fights a demon using a demon, thinks about his life choices far too late, and is saved by a flying clown. Gets some exercise, goes back to the capital, crashes a fancy party, is cringe, gets ass beat, ruins relationship, deals with depression, tries to run away, gets saved by an angel, loves Emilia, convinces non-Japanese people to kill a whale, runs around in circles until a tree falls, hires mercenaries to kill a religious group, forces villagers to leave their homes, captures a spy, picks a fight with an insane man, runs away, gets someone else to fight his own fights, has a deep connection with another man, kills an insane old guy. Oh shit, there's a bomb. Takes a stroll through the woods, punches a corpse, robs a wagon caravan, blows up a whale carcass, flirts with a girl. Alright, let's look at the numbers. Starting off with the time between arcs. This one is pretty easy. Arc 4 starts immediately after Arc 3. It's like same exact day. The actual start is kind of different in the novels than in the anime. The novels have an intermission that's part of 3, and that's where the anime starts for the second season. I prefer the anime starting spot for the 4th arc, so I'm counting everything that happens at the beginning of the second season for the anime as part of arc 4. But it is different in the novels. And I'll point it out again later so that you can see where exactly the novels start for the 4th arc according to them. The death count for each arc is also on here. Here is the total of days that Subaru has experienced in this world, and it's been a while, so let me try to explain this chart again real quick. If we look at the other totals again, this shows the number of days that has passed for everyone else in the world. So arc 1 all took place in one day. Then we go back to this chart, and with all of the deaths, Subaru experienced about 4 days in this world. Obviously not 100% accurate because I did a lot of rounding, but this gives a rough estimate of the passage of time that Subaru has felt. Hopefully that makes sense. So last arc ended with Subaru not dying from a bomb, and it's always a pleasant surprise to see Subaru not dying. The White Whale was killed, the Sin Archbishop Sloth was killed, a few random cultists were killed. Overall, Subaru succeeded at doing everything that he wanted to do. But this is ReZero, so obviously that is not going to continue, and it's not going to go his way for much longer. With the Archbishop taken care of, the caravan continues on to Cruché's mansion. Subaru joins Emilia and the kids in their wagon. The novels remind us that this is the first time he's had a chance to ride in a wagon and relax. Most of the time that he's been in one, he's been rushing back to Roswell's mansion. And the one time that he had a chance to relax before, he fucked it up by falling out. Most of the kids are worn out from all the excitement. All but one. Petra clings to Subaru. So, bit close there, aren't you, Petra? Well, she had you all to herself earlier. It wasn't fair. Don't read too much into it. We had important things to talk about. I'm not going to lose to you in a zillion years. Petra is jealous, but she's not really being mean here. Subaru recognizes that she's not saying any of this out of hatred. Okay, okay. I owe you a big thanks, Petra. You kept your promise to not leave Amelia alone. I've got a ton of thanks to give when things settle down. Crochet and her gang, Anastasia and her people, and I hate to admit it, but that goes for Julius too. I even owe Otto. Did you say something, Natsuki? Nothing big, just that I'm super grateful to you too. What brought that on? You're making me blush. This is going to be important for later, so I kind of want to make this clear now. Think about what has happened to Otto in this timeline. Anastasia and Russell went to the merchants, told them about the job. Otto ran off because he is broke and desperate and wanted to get there first. So he took a shortcut through the woods, and that's where he was caught by the cult. From there, he is rescued by Ricardo and his group and taken back to Arlem Village, where he meets Subaru for the first time. And while he's in the village, he learns about the bomb that's on the wagon, and he helps Subaru catch up using his blessing. Because he helps Subaru, he now has a way out of financial ruin, and plus the possibility of setting up a deal with the magistrate of the land. He has had a lot of shit happen to him over the past couple of days, but overall it's ended pretty positive for him. Or at least potentially positive. Most of the positives are related to Subaru in some way. So Subaru has saved Otto in multiple ways in a very short amount of time. So keep that in mind going forward. This scene plays out pretty much the same in the novels. The only real difference is that he doesn't talk out loud about his list of people that he needs to thank. It's all in his head. Oh, and Otto isn't on that list at all. What's wrong, Subaru? Oh, it's just there's something really important I need to tell you. This is really hard for me to say, but please hear me out. It's actually about Rem. Rem said that she you see what I'm getting at, right? I mean, well, Rem said some things to me. Subaru, calm down for a second. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, but I can tell that you're trying your hardest. So take it slow, like a good boy. Like a good boy. That's not exactly encouraging. Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Like a man. Rem says she loves me in the same way that I told you that I love you. So. Subaru? Who's Rem? She said the thing! But seriously, we all could have guessed that something bad was going to happen. It's been far too happy lately. I mean, it's been, what, 5 minutes since something bad happened? The anime and the light novel both go with Rem says she loves me and leaves it pretty open ended after that. In the web novel, Subaru says fuck it and he leans in. He pretty much says, we can skip all this love triangle bullshit and I can just date both of you. Not the exact words, obviously, but it is what he was trying to say. And it doesn't work because Amelia is Amelia and she loses the plot as soon as Rem gets mentioned. But Subaru is very much trying to work in getting both girls in the web novel. Back to the story. So while Subaru was dealing with the cult, Crochet and the injured were heading back to the capital. So let's see what went down there. Spirits are high. Even though most of them are injured, they still celebrate their victory over the white whale. You don't look very happy, Rem. Are you still worried? They're the best of the best. Such an assembly cannot lose. Is it selfish of me to worry despite all that? Subaru said it right. You look better with a smile on your face. I swear, that man is nothing but trouble. I'm sure you would look a different woman if you smiled. You always carry yourself with such dignity. I believe you would look quite charming with a smile. Yes, well, smiling isn't really a skill of mine. It is still something I regret to this day. In the novels, Crochet tries to figure out what Roswaal has planned. I mean, she knew that the cult would end up doing something as soon as Amelia was made public, so it would make sense for Roswaal to also have some kind of countermeasures. Rem doesn't give out any information. I'm pretty sure Roswaal just didn't tell her anything, for reasons that we'll see later. Also, as someone with resting bitch face, please don't tell someone they need a smile. It's not a big deal in this scene or anything. I'm just giving a general PSA. An explosion cuts their conversation short. A wagon near the front turns into shrapnel, killing everyone inside. A lone man stands in the middle of the road. Trample him. Before they connect, Rem grabs Cruchet and jumps away as the wagon meets the same fate as the previous one. The other land dragon screeched to a halt. That wasn't very nice of you, ordering them to trample me when I'm just minding my own business. That's not something someone with any sense of decency would do. Quick difference, the web novel has him wearing black instead of white, and I have no idea why they switched it. Rem is stunned. The man had not attacked, he didn't even move. Yet the earth dragon and the wagon were destroyed. Not only that, but there was not a scratch on him, or his clothes. Thank you, Rem. Just who are you? I see, you don't know who I am. But I know who you are. You're a candidate to be the next ruler of the country. You talk too much. Answer my question. Last chance before I slay you. Now that's just plain mean, but I suppose one can never hope to rule a country without some degree of arrogance. I can't wrap my head around that sensibility myself, but I told you that was your last chance. Crochet uses her ability and sends a blade of wind to slice the man. I promise you, I am cutting out a lot of his talking. It's bad in the anime, but I actually think it's worse in the novels. Once he starts talking, he does not shut up. The attack hits, but does nothing. Who taught you it was acceptable to swing a sword at someone happily chatting away? I'd say that's a clear violation of my right to free speech. Crochet's left arm suddenly flies off, severed at the bicep. I say bicep, going by where it looks like it hit in the anime, but the novels say shoulder, so I'm guessing that it was, we'll use this arm, it was somewhere between here and here. I don't know. I'm really just using this to flex a little bit. The novels describe this a little bit more, gives a little bit of a hint as to how his ability works. Okay, well, it's not really a hint. If you know how his ability works, then it lines up, but if not, I really doubt you're going to figure it out from this. His arm moves up. This is going to be really hard to show with me sitting this close to the camera. But he has his arms at his side, and then he just raises his arm up real quick, and the ground gets cut, and her arm gets cut. Everything within a straight line of his arm. Rem notices the wind whenever he does this, and I'll go ahead and tell you now, the wind has nothing to do with his ability. Well, it kind of does in this case. His ability isn't explained until next arc, and it's kind of important that it's not explained until then. So I'll tell you when you're older. Rem rushes over to try and heal Crochet using what little mana she has, when she hears a voice from behind. Ah, we keep eating and eating, but it's never enough. She turns back and sees the entire army has been defeated, and what looks like a kid in his early teens is walking towards her. No matter how much we eat, it's never enough. This is why we can never stop living. Eating, feeding, chewing, biting, licking, lapping, sucking, inhaling, devouring. Thank you for this feast. The anime and the light novel use I, as in singular, whenever he talks. The web novel uses we, as in the plural. And I can see the argument for both options. I really don't think there's a wrong choice here. I am going to use we because I like that option more. And no, I'm not going to explain why. Rem starts to figure out what's happening. You two are Sin Archbishop representing gluttony, Lai Batenkaitos. Sin Archbishop representing greed, Regulus Corneus. We came here because we'd heard our pet had been slain. And look at this bounty. We expected them to be a good, ripe bunch, considering they managed to kill a beast that had been rampaging for over 400 years. But this is beyond our wildest dreams. Sweet, super, superb, splendid, spectacular. How long has it been since our hunger has been so thoroughly sated? The web novel says that they got their ass kicked so hard that Rem didn't even realize there was a fight going on behind her. Now, they were weakened from the fight with the whale, but I honestly don't think that would have changed a whole lot. Rem in the light novel notices that some of the Iron Fang got away, and she thinks about stalling for time for them to bring back reinforcements, but even she realizes that's not going to work. With Cruchet's arm no longer bleeding, Rem lays her to the side and stands up with her weapon ready. You can relax, I'm nothing like that guy there. I hate fighting and stuff. All that hunger and thirst nonsense. Such petty self-indulgence are beneath me. The novels add that he is there by coincidence. So gluttony is there because they killed the whale, and greed is there because. Ice appears around her as Rem prepares a spell. Were you even listening? Did I not just say that I hate fighting? After hearing that, you're going to act like this? That would be ignoring my opinion. That would be infringing upon my rights. I am 90% sure that Regulus is a sovereign citizen. Is that all you wish to say, witch cultist? Soon enough a hero will appear and rid us of all of you. The one whom I love, the hero of us all. Oh? A hero? Sounds like a ball. And who are you? Head maid of the mansion of Margrave Roswell L. Mathers, and currently the caretaker of my one and only love, Subaru Natsuki, who will one day be that hero. My name is Rem. The horn on her forehead grows. I promise you, my hero will soon be here to bring you to justice. This kind of comes off like she expects him to just randomly show up, but I don't think that's the case. In the novels, she uses more words like someday. So I think when she says soon, she's not talking about today soon. The spell fires off at each enemy. Regulus doesn't move an inch as the ice shatters without hitting. Lai easily dodges the ice spikes and moves in to attack. Chains keep him at bay, but they show no signs of landing a hit against him. As Rem continues to swing, an attack from Regulus completely knocks her off her feet. Before she can recover, Lai closes the gap. Thanks for the meal. Rem's consciousness fades. I said in the last arc that, in my opinion, Sloth is the weakest archbishop, and they really struggled with him. I love Rem, but she never stood a chance in this fight. If you remember from last arc, Greed is the person who attacked an entire fortress city in the Empire of Wallachia and wiped all of them out. So fighting him in addition to Gluttony, yeah, Rem was pretty fucked. You can definitely see how this fight progressed with each version. In the web novel, she casts the magic spell and then jumps at Lai, but is immediately defeated. And apparently that is not good enough. Rem cannot go down without a fight. So in the light novel, she jumps up, sends out the ice, but then gets hit by the sudden force and it's GG. So she has to get hit by a sneak attack before she loses. But that was still too short, so the anime gives us more of a fight before she gets hit. That night, the witch hunting group arrives at Cruchet's mansion to find bodies lining the courtyard. The survivors of the Archbishop's attack. Most of the group were killed, many had their memories erased, but some were left in a coma-like state. The Iron Fang that got away went to the capital and got help, but by the time they got back, Greed and Gluttony were already gone, so they just grabbed everyone that they could and brought them back to Cruchet's mansion. Where's Rem? Subaru runs around the bodies, desperately searching. It's just like before. Just like the last time when the white whale got Rem. But I know we defeated the white whale, so why? He finally finds her, laying on the ground, with one of the healers attending to her. Rem, come on, wake up, it's me. You know this girl? Yes, she's Rem. She's alive, right? Why won't she wake up? Sorry, but there's nothing we can do for her. Why? If you're a healer, then heal her. Wake her up with magic, right now. Please. The man walks away, giving Subaru space. His head is spinning. He picks up a broken sword laying nearby. If I return by death now, I'll have to fight Betelgeuse again. But I don't care. I'll fight him as many times as it takes. Beat him as many times as it takes to save both Emilia and Rem. I won't let either of them die. If it'll save both of you, I'll do it. Subaru drives the blade into his neck. The first death. We're starting with the deaths early in this arc. Well, that should kind of tell you what's going to happen next. We have moved on past all of that shit. We're into new territory now. Subaru opens his eyes with Emilia and Petra sitting beside him. He's back at the wagon. The reset point has been moved. Subaru catches his breath and jumps into action. Where's Rem? What happened to Rem? Who's Rem? Okay, let me go ahead and say it. Props to Subaru on this. It only takes him a few seconds to recover, and he immediately asks a question that tells him whether his plan worked or not. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but he handled it really well, all things considered. And of course, it is far too late. That group headed back to the capital after their fight with the whale, which was early in the morning. And so they were attacked sometime between then and when Subaru woke up after the explosion. There was a lot of time between those 2 points. If he woke up at the last reset point outside of the forest before the witch hunt, he might have been able to send someone to go warn them or help them or something. But even then, I'm not sure it would have worked out. Doesn't really matter anyway. The reset point has been moved, so this is just reality now. And all of this is anime only. Kind of. Him finding Rem out on the lawn, killing himself, and resetting back to the wagon. None of that is in the novels. Instead, we get like 1 or 2 paragraphs describing what happened. He found Rem in a guest room and he kills himself in that room, but he resets like a minute before he did it. So the reset point is different, but it won't matter for much longer. I'm surprised. The anime normally cuts shit, but I like what they did here. I think adding in this scene out on the courtyard was a really good change. Because this season is really emotional, and they are setting that up early. So next time we'll see how the group handles this attack and what they plan on doing going forward. See ya.